going to go ahead and we're going to talk about choke defenses. You know, when we talk about choke defenses, this is a situation or scenario that people are often scared of. You know, we think about people getting attacked, we think about getting choked, getting grabbed. Well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cover choke defenses today. And there's a lot of different chokes, a lot of different what we call reference points. And when I talk about reference points, all I'm talking about is you and the opponent getting into a particular situation or reference point. So if I go ahead and I bring Mark on in here, and let's say he goes ahead and just grabs my arm. This is a reference point right here. From here, I can go ahead and I can develop a certain kind of strategy to defend myself, all right? Well, with chokes, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna break it down into a bunch of different categories. And in this video right now, we're gonna cover what we call stationary chokes. Talking about stationary chokes, there are three main types. We have a front, a side, and also a rear. Obviously, when we talk about the side, we're talking about both the right and the left. You just don't want to get used to defending against one side. Make sure you practice both sides. But the front choke defense is very, very simple right here. This is where Mark comes on up, and he has a front choke right here. Now, when I talk about stationary, I just mean that we're not moving, okay? I'm also meaning that we're not pinned up against anything either. So we're standing in one spot, in one place. So Mark's going to go ahead. He's going to choke right here. What we're going to do is the first move is we're going to do a pluck. Now, when I talk about a pluck, I'm not talking about plucking down or pushing down, and I'm not even talking about coming up through the middle or anything like that. The weakest area where he does not have as much structure is to the outside, not down, all right, and obviously not inward towards my neck, but this position right here. So when we talk about a pluck, all we're doing is we're using our hands and our arms like two meat hooks. We want to get on in there and we want to go ahead and we want to pull the person's hands off our necks, but we want to pull them to the weakest area where he doesn't have a lot of support. So if Mark is in here right here, I want to go ahead and I want to pluck out. When I do that, I want to accentuate all these movements right here by going ahead and putting my shoulders back and my chest out. So when we do this, it's not just an arm movement. It is a full body movement right here where I get my whole body activated within this defense right here. So the first one is what we call a double hand pluck right here. The second move we want to do immediately is a front kick, obviously right up to the groin, right up to the A-frame right there. The faster we can go ahead and put pain on this person, the better off we're gonna be. So once again, the front choke defense is gonna be right here. We're gonna pluck out, double hand pluck, and then go ahead and go for that front kick. When we do that front kick, we either wanna use either the laces of our shoe or even our shin, depending on how close or far we are with the person, which is usually determined by how long the person's arms are, right? You know, if they have shorter arms, you're gonna be a little bit closer. If they have longer arms, you're gonna be a little bit farther. Or if they have a bend of their arm, that's gonna affect it as well. All I care about is just getting that leg right up the person's A-frame right there. And when I do so, I'm just not kicking up, I'm using my whole body as I kick right here. So let's go over that front choke once again. Double hand pluck, right up there with our front kick. That's the first version. Second version that we have right here is what we call our side choke. Side choke is where I'm standing right here, and just like it sounds, we have an attack from the side right here. Now, when we have our attack from the side right here, what we want to do is use our outside hand. Our inside hand is a little bit too close to use the plucking. I don't have as much range of motion, but just like we did with the first kind of position, our pluck is outward. I like to call it a seatbelt position. We want to go from the shoulder all the way down to the hip, just like such. So when I pluck, I'm plucking down and I'm ripping down. Remember, what we're not doing, and I want to put a really big underline under this, when we're getting choked, it's not like I'm using fine motor movements and just grabbing the wrist right here. I'm not trying to find this. I'm just using my hand and my arm like a big meat hook, and I'm going from my shoulder and just ripping down all the way right here, just like this. Same thing, use your whole body. It's not just an arm movement, it's a whole body movement right here. My shoulders go back, my chest goes out. So after this happens right here, then I like to bend on down and give a nice little hammer fist strike right to the groin once again. The quicker we can go ahead and put pain on the person, the faster we can escape. So when we do this, let's go through this again. We're gonna go ahead and go through that side pluck using the outside hand, drop on down, and then hit with that hammer fist right down low again. Let's go to the rear choke. Rear choke is when somebody is choking us from behind. I don't know where the hands are, and even though I'm not using that fine motor movement of trying to find the wrist or fingers, we just want to go ahead and use those arms and hands as meat hooks, as I keep on saying. We're going to go ahead and we're going to find the top of our spine. That's where something I can find. As I do that, double hand pluck right here. I like to step off to the side, cover my offside right here, and then strike. The reason why I cover my offside is I don't know what's going on over here, so I kind of need to protect of any kind of other attack or a person coming into the game. So as I go here, this is my double hand pluck right here. I drop and I get down low. Once again, using that change of elevation I find really helps out on making it more difficult for this person to hold on to that choke. So as we go here, this is our double hand pluck. I step off to the side and there's my low line strike. So we have the 3 chokes right there. Let's go ahead and let's review them real quick again. We have our front choke, double hand pluck with our kick. We have our side one here, and our side one happens. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna pluck this way. I like to use that, what we call the seatbelt movement, where I go from my shoulder all the way down to my hip. I'm ripping down here just like this. I'm dropping, and then I'm smacking down there. From the rear, we find the top of our spine. I pluck here, step off to the side, and then obviously that hammer fist is coming in once again to strike the groin. After that, you know what to do. We're running.